Yeehaw, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, welcome to Daytona, Florida. I'll tell you what, getting ready for the inaugural race here tonight, and we do have a house full lining up here for this big one here tonight. Hey, in the booth with me tonight, Tracy Flip Robinson, as always, Mike Keaton, Batman, calling the action from pit road, John the Bad Boy Westling, the legend as we know it. He'll be working the cameras tonight, and of course, Jerry the Corn Dog Wolf on the remotes as usual. And I'll tell you what, guys, setting up for the inaugural race here. This is the Viper Technology Nationwide Series here at Daytona, Tracy. Looking for some exciting action in the next 33 weeks.
Yeah, I tell you what, JD, looking at this list of the drivers we got out here, tell you we got some really big name drivers, guys, running out there. I've seen them run these plate tracks before, but now we're here at the new Daytona. This should be exciting and a lot of fun, JD.
You bet. I'll tell you what, drivers have already qualified for this race, and we apologize for getting a late start tonight, but they were making the adjustment to get everybody on the grid here. Jeremy Bazemore starting out on the pole here tonight. Eric Motzenbacher on the front row outside him. Well, we'll let you know who's going to be lined up on the grid down here in just a few minutes. But I'll tell you what, for the ride with us tonight, Greg Smith from Viper Technologies. Greg, I understand we're going to be giving some stuff away again tonight.
Yeah, that's right, JD. We're going to be throwing our famous gift certificates in there and hopefully giving out over $100 in prizes. And, of course, we can't miss out on the 600 SR gaming rig that we're going to be giving away free here tonight.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, you know, the guys up here at ETV Live have been looking for one. They keep telling me to send the one I got over to them. Of course, you know, Jason told us that we could have one, but we'd all have to share it. So I tell you what, I took a little bit of static about it last night when we did our final for Race Sim Nation. But I'll tell you what, you want to get a hold of one of them chairs. Viper Technology sponsoring the Nationwide Series here, and I'll tell you what, Veteran Sim Racers, they're the managing partner here tonight. They'll be operating the Nationwide Series for the next 33 weeks. So I'll tell you what, Chuck Ingram and his boys, glad to have them along for the ride here tonight. And I'll tell you what, Tracy, final, you know, the guys are down here getting to practice here, turning some laps, making final adjustment on those machines down there. Let's talk about that two-car tandem here a little bit. We'll probably see quite a bit of that happening here tonight.
Yeah, you'll get quite a few of them guys will get hooked up and get out there running, and you'll be watching the guy behind looking to breathe his car a little bit, hang that nose out a little bit from the left to the right just to cool it down, because if two cars stay nose to tail too long, they're going to overheat. So watch that second car, just look back and forth, and you'll get some of the teams who will actually go out there and swap positions. The guy pushing will go to the guy leading that group. So it's going to make it fun and exciting out here at Daytona, JD.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, looking over here in the chat room, Fan Interactive, Tony Bowling in the house. Tony taking a trophy home last night from Atlanta Speedway. And looks like Amber Keaton along for the ride. I know who that is. Daniel Brighton in the house order. Davis Hessler, a whole host of people. Devin, I'm reading down the list here. Gabriel, Hot Rod Hal in the house. James, Jason, Jay Bunn. I tell you what, Jay Bunn, back on the track, back in the saddle again last night at Atlanta Speedway. Larry Malkins along for the ride tonight, and just a whole host of people. Also with us part-time in and out of the booth tonight is going to be Jason Lawson from Viper Technologies. He's a director of marketing over there. He's usually been along for the ride with us up here in the booth, you know, a few times, Tracy. But he's doing double duty tonight. Landon Harrison picking up a sponsor from Viper Technologies. ETV Live is a minor sponsor on the car. He's actually racing right now for the in the Pro Series. And I know Jason is spending some time back and forth between that race and this race here tonight. So I tell you what, Landon Harrison, last-minute sponsorship deal, Greg, and I tell you what, ETV Live, Viper Technologies on his car.
Yeah, I tell you what, a great thing for him to have. Tell you, chasing the marketing down, you have to keep an eye on all your guys out there. As I'm watching right now, 3 cars work together, all the same paint schemes out there, JD, but yep, he'll be jumping back and forth, 2 Daytonas, all running at the same time. I tell you what, he's going to be, his feet are going to be really tired, JD.
Yeah, you got that right. I tell you what, since Jason came aboard, he actually came knocking on our door, and of course we flung it wide on open. But I tell you what, we've been keeping him busy for the last week or so here. So I tell you what, I know he's getting pretty worn out, but guys are out here making final adjustments out here on the track, and I tell you what, looking for an exciting race tonight. 100 laps on the board here at Daytona tonight. And I tell you what, Mike Keaton in the house tonight. He'll be calling the action from pit road. Mike, a rookie in the booth here tonight. How you doing, bud?
Doing good. Thanks for having me. I really am expecting some good pit stops tonight. Strategy is going to play a big key in tonight's victor.
You get that right, and Mike Keaton, he'll be keeping a close eye on the happenings down around pit road, Tracy. But I'll tell you what, Jerry the Corn Dog Wolf, he's along for the ride tonight. So spectacular camera work as we always see, Jerry. Are you up and ready and fired up and raring to go?
Man, I'm down here, got me a corn dog with some mustard, sitting right at the entrance, or the pit road, looking all the way down, all the cars down there, coming in from practice, getting service. I'm ready to rock and roll, J.D. Webb.
All right, I'll tell you what, time is winding down. Roughly about 5 minutes left here in a little bit. We'll send it on down trackside for the national anthem. But Tracy, at 100 laps here tonight, anything can happen, and we've got some big names in the house tonight. Of course, some notables from veteran sim racers over there. Jason Inch in the house. Craig T. Nelson, he'll be here tonight. I believe Cecil Reen. E.J. O'Rourke should be along for the ride tonight. Just a whole host of them. Helge Gravemeyer, let's talk about him for a minute. He was a big threat over there during the Super Speedway Series on Saturday nights, the Harold Lowry Super Speedway Series, but just couldn't hook it up that last season.
Yeah, I tell you what, he had some issues making it to the track on time. And I'm taking a look down our list, JD. I see we have A.J. Browning out here running tonight, and also Steve Rosner from RSN. He's hit the track. A great group of guys out here running. Helge Gravemeyer, not too sure what kind of setup for Daytona he'd have, but we know he had a great setup out there for Talladega. And I've been kind of looking at this Daytona track. It looks awful narrow to me compared to Talladega, JD.
You bet. I'll tell you what, it is that time. We're going to go ahead and take it on down trackside. The Cactus Cuties present our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, back from the national anthem. I'll tell you what, we're going to do the lineup, the grid tonight, just a little bit different than we usually do. And I'll tell you what, you can see them scrolling on the screen there. That's the lineup for tonight. And I'll tell you what, Tracy, we've got some notables in the house tonight. Just want to make a mention of a few of them here. And Helge Gravemeyer, like I said before, Helge Gravemeyer was, been running over that Super Speedway series with the nation over there. I don't see his name on the roster here tonight. But tell you what, Ryan Newman in the house. Ryan Newman, he's got 91 career starts, couple of wins, 42 top fives. And I'll tell you what, Ryan Newman looked pretty sharp over there on the Saturday nights with the Harold Lowry Super Speedway Series.
Yeah, I tell you, JD, I'm going through this list, and I see a lot of names I recognize from that Super Speedway Series. And from, like, Scott Hunsinger, tell you, he did a great job that last couple races, so you're looking at a lot of real good drafters out there, JD.
You got that right. And I'll tell you what, guys like Barry Jacobs Jr., 708 starts, dude. I'll tell you what, 48 wins under his belt. He average start in 12th, and the average finish for him is 8th place. And I tell you, man, just some drivers here tonight with some impeccable statistics that we were able to pull off the iRacing profiles over there for tonight's race. I want to also mention that Brian Barden, he'll be our in-car reporter tonight. And I'm trying to look down the list to find out what car number he's driving. He looks like he's in the 16 car here tonight, guys. So Brian Barden had an outstanding run going. It looked like he was going to qualify up on the front row. And on the white flag lap, got upset and had to finish in 19th place, and that put him to the back of the field. So he'll be starting dead last. Shotgun on the field, as they like to say, Tracy.
Yeah, I tell you, but here at Daytona, it really don't matter because you can make your way back forward, even starting dead last. Qualifying is just to see who's got the fastest car that day. But out here on the track with drafting, anybody from front to back can make up and take the win tonight.
You got that right. And it looks like we're about maybe 10 seconds away from firing this thing off as we wait for the grid to be set here in just about maybe 30 seconds here. But I tell you what, looking for an outstanding run here tonight. Tires and fuel should not be an issue here tonight, Mike. 100 laps on the books, and I'm guessing probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about 25 or so laps, do you think?
Probably around 35 you'll see some guys start to come in. Probably going to have to do 2 pit stops tonight unless there's a couple of caution flags that kind of get some people in there early. But you should see some early pit stops, early pit stops for tonight's good race.
All right, 35 laps on fuel tonight. So I'll tell you what, with 100 laps on the books, you're absolutely right. At least 2 pit stops tonight. That second one, I'll tell you what, that's going to be one to look for. And Tracy, I'm hearing those engines starting up down there on the grid.
Yeah, they're all lining up, JD. The crew's pulled away the box, and the guys are ready, just waiting for the pace car to move.
You bet. And as they get fired up and buckled in, and tell you what, suck them belts down tight because we're going for an e-ticket ride tonight, ETV Live. And I want to welcome everybody to the race tonight. Viper Technologies nationwide series here with veteran sim racers. And I'll tell you what, we've been with these guys for quite a while. Outstanding races that we've been watching here for the last, 8-10 weeks with these boys. But I'll tell you what, should be some exciting times here tonight. Looking for that 2-car tandem. Remember, they get hooked up 3 or 4 laps now, guys, and then they're going to have to switch, and that's where it really gets dicey because the car in behind has got to move into clean air, and they've got to make that switch. So we'll be keeping our eye on that, and looking for probably at least 18 to 20 lead changes here tonight, guys.
Yeah, JD, I tell you what, better keep an eye out. You might see something new you haven't seen here at Daytona, as these guys have been practicing different ways of trying to make that draft work. So you have to keep an eye out on this race tonight. As everybody looks like they're getting pretty set up, tighten them belts down one more time as they're heading down that backstretch, JD.
You bet. I know there's, with all the excitement with Viper Tech coming aboard here with the ETV Live, I know there's quite a few cars down there, at least a couple of them down there with the Viper Tech logo all over them, and ETV Live down there. I just haven't been able to cycle through and find them, but I'll tell you what, we will find them for you, and we'll bring them to everybody's attention. But I'll tell you what, I know a couple of guys. I know one guy up here that's probably pretty nervous, but I know about 36 more of them who are probably chomping at the bit down here too. Jeremy Bazemore on the pole tonight. Eric Motzenbacher up on the outside. Richard Jett, Scott Hunsinger, and Barry Jacobs is going to be your top 5 on the start here. And pace car should be pulling down on pit road here just momentarily, and that will be the signal to Jeremy Bazemore that we are good to go. The flagman's got the flag up in the air. They're lining them up. He's got the finger out. Green flag is waving, and we are live at Daytona, Florida, Daytona International Speedway with the Viper Tech Daytona 500.
Looks like the 67 of Eric Motzenbacher didn't quite get off on that start very good, JD's. He started on the front of the outside, and his Viper SR seat sponsored car fell him back here a little ways. I think he's looking to go pick up his teammates and get those cars drafted into the front there, JD.
I'll tell you what, up here in front, Jeremy Bazemore, he's got his partner already set to go, and they've already moved out. Rich Jett up here in the 32 car. I'll tell you what, tandem taking place right now. This is how it works. You get hooked up with your buddy, and you got to stay with them from the get-go up here. And I'll tell you what, you can start putting a distance on. In back of them, you've got Scott Hunsinger and Barry Jacobs Jr. back here. That's going to be the 91 machine and the 34 car. So I'll tell you what, they're already breaking off 2 by 2 here, Tracy, and 98 more laps to go.
Yeah, look at the 92 and 32. Both up front there, Jeremy Bazemore and Rich Jett working together, trying to get that tandem hook up, get away from the 91 and that 34. But tell you what, JD, they're not making a whole lot of ground. Those guys are staying right on their tail.
You got that right. And I'll tell you what, a ton of laps to run here at Daytona. So, you know what, trying to make a mad dash towards the front right now really doesn't make that much difference. Oh, we got one down on the apron, Tracy. The 41 car of, looks like E.J. O'Rourke heading down pit road, guys. Something going haywire with E.J. O'Rourke already hitting pit road. All right, it's E.J. O'Rourke in that 41 machine already down here on pit road for some reason, guys. Not quite sure what was up with that 41 machine. Looked like it might have been fuel only, but Jerry, you've got more?
Man, I tell you what, JD, it looked like he just flat out got loose there. I'm not sure what that was all about. Got loose, slid it down the apron, slowed way up. I don't know if that was planned or not. I'm not quite sure, guys. Nonetheless, doesn't look like he got any damage, so...
All right, I'll tell you what, E.J. O'Rourke in that 41 machine now in 36th position. He's all by himself. And I'll tell you what, Tracy, that's kind of no man's land back there. E.J. O'Rourke has got to find somebody to hook up with. He's 9 seconds off the pace up here. Hopefully he can get up to perhaps Jeff Marionetti up here, and maybe Jeff can help pull E.J. around. But I'll tell you what, I don't think E.J. quite expected that one.
No, they got quite a battle going up here, JD. We got quite a few cars side by side back in the pack, running down that backstretch. The first car on that outside line is that number 7 car of Alex Thornton, as he's working that outside lane, trying to get people hooked up. If you look a little farther forward, we have a pink car, I believe it's the number 4 of Kirk Fielder, doing everything he can on that outside lane, but he just doesn't have any help, JD.
You bet, and I'll tell you what, back here ways Alex Thornton in the car, in the 7 car, in 15th position back there. He's up on the outside, but I'll tell you what, quite a bit of distance between going up to the front here. But he's got a little bit of help. He's got looks like A.J. Browning up on the outside behind him. 3-car deal working up here, but you know we've been talking about a free race. That 3-car thing doesn't work out too well as they start ganging up on everybody back here. So. The tandem thing isn't quite working back here in the back yet. Of course, early lap 5 of them in the books here already. But I tell you what, they'll probably stay this way for a while as they get sorted out. And that first pit stop that comes along, looking for that somewhere around lap 35, guys. That's probably where we'll see more of that tandem car action take place.
Yeah, the lead group boys really moved out there, JD, as they're putting some space between the back of the pack but nobody's getting away from anybody. They're all in a single file line, drafting each other around this track. You have to head quite a ways back before you see your two cars side by side. Look like everybody pretty much settled down into following each other at the moment, JD.
You bet. I'll tell you what, looks like Greg Smith has already put the link up there. It's in the chat room. So out of the box, first question up. This is a trivia thing. This is for a $25 gift card to, I believe it's your choice. You know what? Only 43 cars are permitted to start the race these days, but Daytona International Speedway opened in February of 1959, Cowboy. How many were lined up on the grid in that first race on February 22nd, 1959? That answer might surprise you, I think. But that's the first question out there. And we've got, let's say 8 laps, and we're going to slam the door shut around lap 15 or so. So you got to get over there, logged in, get your answer posted up over there. And I'll tell you what, if you're one of the lucky ones, picked at a random, they pick a random winner over there. So, the more the better. But I'll tell you what, get over there and get on that link and answer that question. So I'll tell you what, why don't we throw it down to John the Bad Boy Westland, and why don't we crank this one up for our audience. All right, and we are back. Thanks for that crank it up action down there. And I'll tell you what, Mike Keaton's got a little more information on E.J. O'Rourke and why he came down pit road. So I'll tell you what, Mike, have we got some more information on that?
Yeah, we're understanding that he had a rule infraction in the 150 race, so he had to come down and serve a 10-second penalty.
All right, I'll tell you what, penalties being paid after the fact here. I'll tell you what, I'll put a good word in for Chuck Ingram over here. He's the El Jefe here at Veteran Sim Racers, and we've hired him to manage this series over here. And I'll tell you what, he don't let nobody get away with nothing. And I'll tell you what, up on the top side up here, the 00 of Craig Nelson, Jason Inch in that 31 machine up here in 4th position back here, looking to make a move towards the front here. But Tracy, we've got a new leader.
Yeah, JD. Jeremy Bazemore just went high in that corner, let Rich Jet get back in front of him. Bazemore's Jet's car was getting a little warm, so they switched it up and got him back out front. And I tell you, they did an absolutely fabulous job of it. They didn't even lose much time on the pack behind them, JD.
You bet, and it looks like they're starting to break away just a little bit here, but I'll tell you, a big pack of cars behind them here starting to kind of break off into kind of a 2x2 thing here. But since NASCAR and iRacing has set this tandem thing up here, it's a little bit difficult. Those two cars could possibly drive away from this field, Tracy, if these guys can't break off and get into that 2x2, because as I understand it, the more cars you have in line, the heavier it is, and you just can't get anywhere as the leaders make their swap up there. And I'll tell you what, we talked about it pre-race up here. They've only got a few laps, and they've got to make the exchange and trade places so that one car can get cooled off and give the other car a chance to push. So, and that you just saw the leaders doing that up here in front.
And tell you what, they didn't have a lot of time on the track, JD. It looked like they only did maybe a lap and a half before they had to make the switch. My guess is one of them cars is running a little more tape than the other, possibly, and that's why they're having to change over. It looks like that 92 possibly running a little less tape, and then the 32 of Rich Jet, and that's why they had to make the change quicker, as they're pulling away a little bit again from the group. doing a great job up there.
You bet. I'll tell you what, let's give a shout out to Matthew Largan, pull it all the way back down here, 10th position back here, running that number 65 car down here. Matthew Largan, a part-time ETV Live pit reporter up here with us. And Matthew going to run the Nationwide Series here tonight with the Viper Technologies Nationwide Series with veteran sim racers. So Matthew Largan currently sitting down there in 9th position now. And of course, those positions will cycle around and show us different numbers when they come around. Still 2 by 2 for the most part back here, guys. But I'll tell you what, out in front, looks like they're starting to walk away from the rest of the field up here. That's going to be Rich Jett and Jeremy Bazemore.
Yeah, something I'm kind of noticing out there, JD. If you look at the first set of cars there, away from the leaders, they all have cars within about a car length from the back bumpers, and it doesn't seem like they can break the draft off that car, and it's holding them back. Now looks like the 91 and 34 have been able to get a little more distance on the car behind them, and maybe they'll be able to pull away. Possibly that third car will drag you down and not allow you to break away until you can get away from them.
Yeah, you bet. I'll tell you what, I think they call that a gaggle of cars. There's a number of them swapping positions up here, about 11th position forward from about Craig Nelson forward here, guys. And I'll tell you that 3-car tandem up here with a 00. Looks like Craig Nelson, Eric Motzenbacher, and let me get my driver straight up here. The 00 car and the 67 car up here, guys. Looks like they're trying to make a break for the front here, Tracy. Already pulling away from that third car back here, that 31 machine.
Yeah, like I said, JD, I think you've got to get yourself some space between you and them. It's like there's a suction there and it's holding your cars back. And it looks like if they can break away, as they're actually catching the leaders right now, JD. My guess is leaders came unhooked there, which will definitely slow them down. So you got the 67, the 00, making a heck of a run on the outside. Tell you, it doesn't take much to slow them cars down. If you lose that back bumper, the car in front of you, you're going to go right back to the back of the pack. As it looks like Rich Jett and Jeremy Bazemore must have had happen there.
A little bit of a technical difficulty there. Hope everybody's all right. Everybody's still buckled into their seats.
Yep.
Not quite sure what that was all about, but hey, let's get back out in front here. And I'll tell you what, looks like Rich Jett and Bazemore able to hang on to it out here. But I'll tell you what, you know, here's the thing about making that switch, Tracy, and you kind of alluded to it here a little bit. You know, when they make the switch, one has to move out from behind the other, and that's going to throw you off a little bit. It's going to slow you down. And Rich Jett, Jeremy Bazemore making that switch with each other, going past the 29 car, that's going to put that 29 lap down. But
yeah, JD, we're about to go 3 wide here with a slow car, JD. Going to see how this works. Oh, they had to slow down. They got in the back of them. Really had to check up the field, the 00s. Craig Nelson sideways on the apron. Big crash.
Craig Nelson going sideways. Oh, one in the air. Big crash. This is the big one, guys. Oh, wow. And Craig Nelson still getting hammered as the yellow comes out here at Daytona. That's the first caution for the night here. I'll tell you what, looks like the 00, Craig Nelson getting out of shape there a little bit and having a hard time hanging on to it. And I'll tell you what, Tracy, at 200 miles an hour, something's got to break loose. And I tell you, John's got it picked up on the E-Play machine.
Let's see what happens. Anytime you get a lap car that's slower than these drivers going almost 200 miles an hour here at Daytona International Speedway, you're going to run into a problem, and that's exactly what we got here. He's going to come down off the wall. He just comes down a little bit. He thought he had a little more room than he did, and threw that car right through the middle, and he's going to hit the apron, slide right back up the track, guys, and you're going to see one waylay of a wreck.
Wow, I tell you what, I'm watching it again on my monitor in slow motion, and I tell you, man, Tracy, there was just no way out of that, and man, that's the big one happening right here on lap 17.
Yeah, JD, tell you, I was watching some of these cars coming into the crash late. doing some really evasive maneuvers. I'm trying to see who car this is. I think it might be the 27 car. Did a heck of a job, or that's not the car, but man, did he turned it and threw it sideways and just missed Jason Inch by an inch and not hit him and not take no damage out there, JD.
All right, first upset for the night here, and I imagine we're probably going to get quite a few takers down on pit road, Mike.
Oh yeah, hammers are banging away at some of the cars now from that carnage. Huge wreck, probably 6 to 7 cars on pit road now trying to get out of there before the pace car gets back around to go back around and make some more repairs. So bad break for a lot of drivers here early on in this long race.
You bet. I'll tell you what, 18 laps in the books here, scheduled for 100 laps here at Daytona International Speedway. And first one of the night here, guys. So I tell you what, not that it was expected, but I tell you what, like Mike said, the hammers are coming out. Get that sheet metal all straightened out. Get back out there on track. Let's see if we can't finish the job tonight, Tracy.
I tell you what, JD, I'm been rewinding and watching this crash. I told you there's a car that just slid by Jason Inch just to miss him, just messed him. And I'm watching everything he had to go through not to get in the car. He got in the back of one car, zipped back and forth, and just turned it sideways, and I just unbelievable. The 82 just barely missed Jason Inch and didn't even get to the wall. Did get damaged in the front by one car.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, question number one, looks like Greg has already slammed the door shut, and the question number 2 is up there, the trivia question. And while they're working on that, why don't we go ahead and step away? We'll take our first commercial break for the night. You're watching live ETV Live, cowboy. Daytona International Speedway, the Viper Technology Nationwide Series. Don't wander off. We'll be right back.
dig. Hard as you can go all the way to the wall, dig, back to speed. Tires look awesome too, bud, and there at the end you were mowing down those guys pretty quick.
Guys bearing down on your 20, hard and fast.
You've been doing an awesome job. We'll get us one tonight.
These cars pulled up. Flag, green flag.
All right, welcome back. I'll tell you what, question number 2 is out there. We'll get that to that here in a minute, but I'll tell you what, Tracy, I believe you caught up with our in-car reporter, Brian Barden.
Yeah, I'm caught up with Brian Barden. Brian, great job getting through that crash. Tell us a little bit how you got through there.
Well, I heard radio communications with some guys up front that said there was, wreck going on. So luckily, being one of the last cars back here, I was able to apply the brakes properly and slow down for everybody.
Yeah, the track was looking like it was getting pretty plugged up with watching cars go every direction. So definitely a great job. How's the race look like it's going for you tonight?
It looks pretty good so far. I thought everybody was pretty patient there, almost like choir boys in the way I was looking at it, but I'm sure we'll be getting active here down the road, and it's going to be a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Have you got a partner to work that two-car draft out yet?
I got a couple guys up front of me. I'm going to hook up with them later on. We're trying to work something out, but right now I told them I'm going to sit back here and hopefully get some positions by guys, driving over the heads maybe, the easy way.
All right. Well, thanks for your time, and we'll send you back. We'll let you go back and ready to go green.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
All right. Tell you what, Brian Barden, our IndyCar reporter for tonight. And I'll tell you what, question number 2 is already out there. I'll read it to you here. In 1979, the Daytona 500 was broadcasted on national television for the first time. After crashing into each other before the race was over, Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison were battling for the lead when they both crashed. The most famous incident occurred during that race was the fist fight between Allison and Yarborough. But, dude, who won the race?
Who is Jeff Gordon?
Who? Wrong game, Jerry.
Dang!
Travis
Pastrana?
Pastrana?
Yeah. All right, guys. This is actually for the guys over here in the chat room, so get over and get on that link. We're going to slam the door shut. We'll give you an extra lap or two here. Let's say by lap 35, we got to slam the door shut. 21 in the books right now, so the link is up there. Get over there and get that question answered, and I'll tell you what, you might be the lucky winner when they make the draw. So pace car should be pulling down pit road here, guys, working off our first caution happening back there on lap 17. And I tell you what, Eric Motzenbacher, Cecil Reen, Alan Thomas, Ryan Newman, Matthew Largan up front, top 5 here as we get back to racing at Daytona.
Yeah, Eric Motzenbacher got a much better start than he did there at the original green flag, JD, because he's able to pull out in front of the 23 of Cecil Reen. But they're working that high line, trying to get it together. But looks like the 13 is trying to give Motzenbacher a push and see if they can't get them two cars out there running together. They're running the same paint schemes, JD. Both have that Viper SR seat on their cars.
Absolutely. So I'll tell you what, to look for those two guys to stay hooked up probably throughout the race, I'm sure. But I'll tell you what, working backwards here a little bit up on the outside, Cecil Reen in that 23 machine had a partner up there to 12 who just jumped back down on the bottom here, leaving 23 car out there to hang, boys. So I tell you what, Ryan Newman, let me tell you, that's the Ryan Newman, not the Ryan Newman, running around that 12 machine here tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking at the group of cars we got left without damage out there, JD. They've kind of whittled down quite a few cars. Looks like we're right around that 82 of Neil Vesquez did a great job getting through that accident, and he's the last car in the group. That's 19 cars in our first group of cars, and then you got to go back to Scott Hunsinger in that 34, running in 20th. A little bit of distance between him and Neil Vesquez as they're running on the track.
You bet. And I'm pulling all the way back here to a 17th position, looking at Michael Howlett Jr. He had our in-car race reporter up there on the top, but now Michael's pulled down here on the bottom. I don't know what's going on there. It looked like Brian Barton was going to get hooked up with Michael Howlett back here, but Howlett appears to be off the pace just a little bit, and now Brian in that 16 machine pulls back up on the top. So I'll tell you what, probably working that draft a little bit. Waiting and 3 wide with them going down through. Looks like Barton backing off the throttle, Tracy. Wonder what that was all about.
Yeah, I think he's just
really
trying
no reason.
Yeah, probably just clear him back, JD, get to a safe position. A lot of racing to go, as he was told us. He's not too worried about running to the front yet. He wants to keep that car clean for the whole race. And if you've been paying, people have been looking, you're seeing cars running on that bottom apron, JD. Those some of the cars got caught up in that crash, just trying to get a few extra laps in. But I tell you, sometimes that can make it pretty tricky running that apron, as these cars like to get loose on that down there.
You bet. I tell you what, 25 laps in the books here at Daytona, and single file racing for a long ways back here, Tracy. And two-car tandem thing not quite working out just yet. Remember, about halfway through that last run, it looked like a Matzenbacher and a Jet were going to just run away from the field there, as we're going to catch up to another lap car up here. So I'll tell you what, they're looking for some three-wide action, and we hope they can safely get past this one with no mistake.
Yeah, so far it looks like everybody's staying single file. I think the lap down car should be running that high side when they get to them. As we know what happens, we get three cars wide and you get one going at a slower pace. It can be pretty hectic, as we've had quite a few cautions due to that, as we got one car on that high side. I believe that's that 7 of Alex Thornton. He's going to want to get down there in that bottom lane once he gets through the corner here and they get by that lap down car.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, I'm all the way to the back here with in 29th position back here, the 41 of E.J. O'Rourke. Remember E.J. having to pay the penalty, pay the piper, Tracy. 10-second penalty, black flag. That was a penalty that he had to pay for one of the qualifying races that he was in. So E.J. O'Rourke off the pace here, guys, as he's the third car, one lap down, Tracy. So he's got a lot of work ahead of him to try to get back up on that lead lap.
Yeah, I tell you, JD, I looked fine what that car, which car was slow out there. It's that number 6 of Mike Costa. He's running one of the Viper SR paint schemes out there. I'm guessing has a little bit of damage, but now that he's with the field and they've got him in tow, he's able to stay with them, JD.
You bet. I'll tell you what, Viper Technologies, the builders, the manufacturers of that Viper 600 SR racing seat, actually they call it a gaming seat, really. And I was talking to Jason and Greg about it here a few days ago, and I tell you what, it's a versatile gaming chair, guys. It's not just for racing. You can use it for pretty much any game. Now, the one I've got here at the house, it just sits in front of my TV set. And this is the kind of chair, Tracy, you don't even have to drop a quarter in. You just plug that baby in, hook it up to your sound, and it rumbles all by itself. But I'll tell you what, you can put your steering wheel on it and mount your monitor on it, and I understand that the realism you feel in the seat of your pants is like being inside the real deal.
Tell you what, JD, we just almost had a crash out there as I watched two cars kind of get together. Both cars pushed up way high on the track. I'm trying to get a couple car numbers here. But really got close to that outside line, just about banged that outside wall, JD.
You bet, and like things were working out for the 6 machine and the 33 machine. Trying one more time up here on top. That's going to be Mike, or I believe that's Mike Costa, if I'm not mistaken, up here on the top, trying to put something together with. Looks like that's Michael Howlett up here on the top, so back here in 14th position. So if they stay hooked up together, I'll tell you what, that two-car tandem thing will outperform that big old long line down there on the bottom. But they just got to have the patience to make it work and persevere lap after lap, try to inch themselves forward as they go past the 4-car here through the trial danger zone. Looks like everybody made it through that one, Tracy.
Yeah, JD. I was watching that. It got pretty nervous fun through there, JD. I was going to ask you, when you have sit in that chair and you're watching one of your old westerns, does it really vibrate through in those kind of shows?
Hey, it's like riding a horse, Hey, well, slam the door shut, Greg. It's up. Time's up. All right, slam the door shut. Door shut on question number 2 here. I'll tell you what, remember that incident back in 1979. Everybody remembers the fist fight. In fact, that's the only thing anybody ever talked about for the last 100 years after that race. But I'll tell you what, does anybody remember who won the race? Well, I'll tell you what, you just had your chance to put your answer in, and they'll draw a lucky winner for a $25 gift card. And I'll tell you what, I believe we've got the fan challenge out there too, Greg, for the seat. We're giving away a Viper 600 seat tonight. Pick the winner, dude. Who do you think's going to win this race here tonight? And just punch in the car number only. That's it. Don't put the name or nothing else. Follow the instructions very carefully. Put the car number in. Pick the winner for tonight, and you'll have a chance at winning one of those seats. And looking over here in the chat room, Tracy, I'll tell you what, Danny Gabaldon along for the ride tonight. He won one the other night. So, Danny, tell everybody what you think of your new chair, bud.
Yeah, I tell you what, got to be pretty happy. Those are beautiful-looking chairs, JD. And, you know, I just thought of that Western. I sitting here thinking, what Western would JD watch sitting in that chair with? In that chair? Bonanza. I bet you're watching Bonanza, aren't you?
Bonanza, one of my favorite shows, dude. I'll tell you what. But you know, I'm still back here in 9th position. Now these two guys, Michael Howlett and I believe that's Michael Howlett working up here on the high side up here, guys. And tell you what, trying to put something together up here, but kind of a gaggle of cars back here with Michael Costa. But up here in front, the 26 machine and the 33 getting up towards the leader. Now, Tracy, you know, this is what we expected. You know, two cars break away, a lighter, you know, much lighter than that bottom line down there, as they're getting right up close and putting a threat to the leaders up here in the front.
Yeah, I tell you what, that lead car up there, the 26 is Dave Miranda, doing a great job. We're working with Michael Howlett as they're trying everything they can, but I think they just got off each other in the corner. Now the 67 of Eric Motzenbacher and the 13 of Alan Thomas just putting some smoke on as they pull away from that outside line, and they've got that 75 car of Matthew Largent right there on his back bumper, trying to stay up with those guys, JD.
You bet, and taking them through the trioval here, and it's like the 26 machine. Looks like you guys are backing off here a little bit. Couldn't put it together, but Jeff Marinetti in the 29 machine makes a break for the outside. He's going to take a position up here in front and see if he can't hook it up and move his machine forward. So I'll tell you what, Dave Miranda up here now pushing the Jeff Marinetti machine up here, the 29 car, see if they can't get a run to the front. But I'll tell you what, question number 3 is open. Let's get the link up there. I'll tell you what, Daytona International Speedway is known for its steep banking in the turns. I mean, almost to the point where you can't even hardly walk up them, Tracy. But Talladega Speedway is even steeper. A lot of people don't think that. But by how many degrees is Talladega steeper than Daytona? You've got 3 choices when you get there. See if you pick the right one. Have a shot at that $25 gift certificate from Viper Technologies, guys.
Yeah, JD had been kind of checking out our packs here, and the tail end of this front pack goes all the way back to the 18 car of Brogan Lawn. They're running in 15th spot, and you go back to that next group where they start. Their leader up there is a 34 of Scott Hunsinger, running a second group of a pack of man, I tell you, it's only 7 cars, JD. So we're looking at heading back to Neil Frisk. And some of these guys have really fallen off the lead group. Matter of fact, the 16 of Brian Barton is all the way back to 20th spot, and they are now 8 seconds behind our leader.
You bet. I think that, you know, a lot of these guys that had a little bit of damage in that caution back on lap 17, and I'm back here about 22nd position back here with Alex Thornton and Jeff Ducart back here, trying to stay together here and work together and make something happen. But I'll tell you what, you know, the 27 machine and the 7 machine back here, they're not able to keep the speed up, Tracy. I'm looking at about 189, 190 miles an hour. So I've got to think that they've got some aerodynamic damage to those cars, to the bodies of those cars down there, and they're just not able to keep that speed up.
Yeah, it won't take a whole heck of a lot to slow these cars down here at Daytona, JD. Get that front fender wrinkled too much. It usually isn't too bad if you've got a fast group in front of you. You could usually just stand there drafting. We were 3 wide, heading through a corner. Once again, the 38 car is up on the high line. Has we got a crash?
The
car upside down.
I just saw that out of the corner of my eye. It looked like the 33 car heavily involved in that one, guys.
Yeah,
And
Marty
hearing
Verana in that 38, JD.
Steve Rosner and Marty Verana involved in that one. And the 38 machine, I got to pull this one back here again and see if I can't get a better angle on it, guys. But tell you what, let's throw it on down to bad boy John Wessling, who's caught up with that action.
Let's see what happened. Once again, it's a lap down car, 3 wide here. He's kind of rubbing off the wall a little bit. Actually, it happened after they got past him there. Steve Rogers going to roll that car, or at least get it on 2 wheels, guys. Spin to the infield. Fortunately, most of that back, guys, believe it or not, made it through there.
Yeah, I tell you what, JD, I'm looking at it. 33, not too sure why he was heading down so low on the track and just hooked that right rear quarter panel, that 55, and he definitely went for a neat ticket right out there, JD.
Man, unbelievable. Okay, that's going to be the second one here at Daytona tonight. Of course, when it happens at 200 miles an hour, significant damage is going to take place. And Mike, that's going to bring another group of people, another group of drivers down pit road.
Yeah, a couple of more drivers falling victim to the Daytona disaster wreck. We got Cecil Reen in the pits and Michael Hatlett, who was running pretty good up front, in the pits now with a little bit of damage. So a bunch of cars here. I think Harold Decker's car, he may be pulling it behind the garage. He's smoking pretty bad. So a lot of cars here halfway through the race almost falling victim again to the Daytona wrecks.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, you know, it does take its toll here. Like I said, Tracy, 200 miles an hour. And, you know, that front stretch down there, the trioval, that's absolutely danger zone up there. Your car tends to get real loose coming off that real slight curve up there right in the middle of that trioval, because you're carrying quite a bit of speed, you know, heading into turn 1. So, you know, it's pretty inevitable. If it's going to happen, it'll happen right there in that trioval.
Yeah, too bad. It's also unfortunate. That's going to take a few more of our cars that are going to be damaged from that lead group, as they were just kind of riding in there. And, man, tell you what, it just really slows a few more of these cars down. So it's going to be really interesting to see how many cars we're going to have up to speed when this restart comes back around, and how many of the cars maybe back there just got caught with the slower group and just couldn't make progress to stay with the leaders. So we'll see how this all comes out in this next restart, JD.
You bet. I'll tell you what, caution number 2 coming out here at Daytona International Speedway. And why don't we go ahead and step away? We'll take a commercial break. Check out the buffet table behind us. You're watching a live ETV Live Viper Technology Nationwide Series here at Daytona. Don't wander off, cowboy. We'll be right back.
Hey dude, are you ready to rock and roll? If that's cool, then you need to do it over at HD Radio Network. HD Radio Network, 4 stations broadcasting 24/7 with everything from metal favorites to the 80s classic rock like legendary Leonard Skinner, Electric Light Orchestra, Foreigner, and bone-rattling, skull-crushing rock and roll on hard driving radio. And partnered with Nuff World Simulation Gaming, check out the HD Radio Network's Nuff Radio with Bear Factory, Stone Temple Pilots, Def Leppard, and a whole lot more. HDRadionetwork.com. Take your pick and rock your brains out, dude.
All right, and we are back live. And I'll tell you what, Tracy, I believe we've got our in-car reporter on the radio, Brian Barton.
Yeah, Brian, I tell you what, you seem to be having to avoid quite a few wrecks out there tonight.
Yeah, the guys keep me on my toes and alert, you know, after a day's hard day of work. Just part of the sim.
Yeah, to tell you, we saw you kind of fade back there, and you actually looks like you lost the lead draft. Was that something you wanted to do, or just maybe caught with a little bit slower car and couldn't hang with the draft?
I didn't realize the guy behind me had front end damage, so you know the push wasn't as good. A couple guys passed me, and we were starting to catch the pack, so I wasn't too worried. I knew we were going to have another caution. I mean, we averaged between 2 to 4 in the SS race, so I was hoping it was going to work out.
Yeah, so now we're going to have another green flag start, get basically like another redo for you, and tell you what, good luck out there, and keep avoiding them crashes.
Yeah, I'm going to try very hard.
All right, guys, that's the 16 of Brian Barton, our in-car reporter today. Tell you what, doing a lot of dodging today.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, lap 41 here, a couple of more laps, and we're going to slam the door shut here on question number 3. Daytona International Speedway is known for its really, really steep banking in the turns. In fact, Tracy, I don't even think you can walk up the darn thing if I remember. That's usually what people come back and tell me. But Talladega is even steeper. It doesn't look like it, but it is. How many degrees is it steeper than Daytona? And I'll tell you what, we're going to give you a couple of extra laps here to get that question answered. And I'll tell you what, $25 gift certificate to, wherever you want, I guess. I believe it's listed over there on the page. But get in there and get your answer, and maybe you'll be the lucky winner. They do the draws very randomly, and so it could be anybody. But checking over here in the chat room, once again, I'll tell you what, the house is filling up. Get a couple of folding chairs out, boys. Outlaw along for the ride. That's Jesse the Outlaw James. You can catch him on Thursday nights with the Thursday Night Thunder. I tell you what, he and I were in the booth here a couple of weeks ago. No better fun than to be with Jesse the Outlaw James on a Sunday night road to the Pro Series. So we always have a blast up there when we're together. But join Jesse, AJ Browning, and probably me. If not, it'll be Sean Bickle with Jesse on Thursday Night Thunder and Sunday night Road to the Pro right here live on ETV Live. As we get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here, Tracy, and just another shout out to Jim Willis, Jim the Coyote Willis, back in the saddle again.
Yeah, JD, I tell you what, I caught up with that 31 car of Jason Inch. Tell you what, Jason, tough night tonight. What finally put you out?
It was just a wreck that was, it's hard to. I was pushing. I'm not exactly sure who I was pushing. But we were pushing hard, and I was, next thing I know, he was telling me that there was a car coming up in front of him. I backed off the throttle, and it was like everybody got backed up. I'm not sure if it was a lap car or not. It looked like everybody was backing up really quick, and it's just one of those things. I just got caught up in it, and that's your super speedway racing for you.
Yeah, I tell you, Jason, tonight it's been, each caution actually has been with a lap car on the high side. I tell you what, there's really nothing anybody can do about it except for try to warn everybody that's coming. So you got a new leader out here. Is going to be 67. Eric, I'm not sure who's the leader. JD, maybe you can tell us.
Looks like Eric Matzebacher and Matthew Largan out here in front, guys. So Matthew Largan making his move to the front. Remember, Matthew Largan, kind of a part-time ETV reporter. He has worked on pit road for us here. Does a heck of a job. So move Matthew Largan up to the front, guys.
Yeah, I see they got Larry Scott pushing them, but finish up with Jason Inch here. Tell you what, sorry to see you out of the race, Jason. I'm pretty sure excited about the full season.
Yeah, looking forward to the season. It's going to be a great season, and I was looking forward to a nice, great finish, trying to follow up my win from Saturday. But, like I said, that's your super speedway racing.
All right, thanks, Jason, for talking with us. And tell you what, JD, we got a great racing out there, but we do have some packs kind of splitting up real early on this run, JD.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, working with Brian Barden up here on the top side in 7th position up there, making a move towards the front. He's got the 26 machine, Dave Miranda, up here as they make a move right to the front, dude. I tell you what, taking a position down on the bottom. So new leader already, Tracy.
Yeah, I tell you, they're doing a great job using that draft, but it looks like nobody can really stay hooked up together to get that huge lead we've seen all happen out there on the track. Matter of fact, that 16 of Brian Barton, we know he was hanging in the back there earlier. Looks like he's got that all taken care of as he's staying out there with Matthew Largent, pushing around this track and doing a great job leading us. Tell you what, that's actually a safe place to be, but we've actually seen the accidents happen right with the leader before, haven't we, JD?
Absolutely. I tell you what, we've seen them more than once out here at these plate tracks. But you know, that's the risk that you take. And when it happens big. We've had 2 of them already. The first one happening back on lap 17. Of course, lap 27 put a few more of them on pit road as well. But I tell you what, 45 laps in the books here, about another half a lap here, and Greg's going to slam the door shut on question number 3, trivia questions here tonight. So I tell you what, if you ain't got it in, it's too late now as Greg gets ready to slam the door shut. And I'm getting the okay, the door is shut. So question number 4, okay, we'll do this one by, say, lap 65 or so. In 1990, boys, Dale Earnhardt, who had won almost everything at Daytona International Speedway except the big one, the Daytona 500, looked like he would finally break his losing streak. But it was Derek Cope who would win that race. 20 attempts later, what year did Dale Earnhardt finally win his Daytona 500? I tell you what, Greg puts a link up there. You get on over there and answer question 4 and get a shot at a $25 certificate of your choice over there if you answer the right question. Of course, the names will be picked random as we got a new leader again, Tracy.
Yeah, I tell you, coming on that outside line, the 13 of Alan Thomas being pushed by the 67 of Eric Motzenbacher. Tell you, them guys are all running out there, working together earlier. Now they've taken them 2 cars. Brothers, we got a slow car they're catching up to, JD, as they're heading to the tri-ovals. We got cars side by side, looking for 3 wide entering corner 1.
And here we go, 3 wide into 1, and looks like the 47 machine up there on the top as the first group gets past him safely up here. He's about an inch away from the wall as they squeeze on by. The 7 comes by. I'll tell you what, we were looking for number 3, 47 machine staying right tight up there against the wall, and that's what we're looking for, Tracy, is they all get past them safely.
Yeah, the outside line, 26, 75, and 84 working, trying to get by the 13 and 67, take that lead as we got the 16 now got behind the 26 as these guys are heading down the front stretch. I think we got a caution, JD. Is that? No, they're still running. Boy, it looked like the car slowed down on my cameras. They're really shifting all over the place. JD, looks like we're going to get another new leader as we come around through 1 and 2.
I'll tell you what, we told everybody we're going to have about 15, 20 lead changes here before this thing's over. And I'll tell you what, 47 laps in the books here. There's 100 laps on the books here tonight for the Daytona race. And this is the Viper Technologies nationwide series. You're watching live, ETV Live. And I'll tell you what, cowboy, you want to watch this one again? ETV-eplay.net, dude. That's where it's at. And also, we want to give a big thanks to HD Radio Network. I'll tell you what, hard driving radio, they provide ETV Live with the pre-race entertainment here on ETV. So HDRadioNetwork.com. Rock your brains out, dude. But I tell you what, I'm riding along with A.J. Browning here, guys. I tell you what, 427 career starts this dude has. He's got 1 win under his belt, 24 top 5s, and doesn't look like he's having the night that he expected to have here. I think he might have got caught up in one of those cautions, Tracy, but he's all the way back here, 22nd position. A.J. Browning, we've seen him on Thursday nights and on Sunday nights over there with Jesse James and crew. In some of those split races that we broadcast.
Yeah, Matthew Larden and also Brian Barton, ETV in-car reporter, doing a great job out there leading. They just made the switch over, JD, was able to keep the lead. As Brian Barton got a couple laps led there around the track as he's pushing that 75 of Matthew Larden and got them the outside line to be the 13 and the 67 trying to work that outside line. Looks like they're starting to fall back a little bit though, JD.
You got to tell you, it don't make no difference to make a mad dash up here for the front. You're only going to hang on to it for a minute, as somebody else going to come along and take it away from you. So lead changes about every other lap going to take place here. We got 2 lanes of racing happening here, guys. So we're not really seeing that 2-car tandem here like we did at the start of the race when we took the green flag. Hey guys, I also want to mention AJ Browning. Hey, he shares the park bench up here in the booth with Jesse the Outlaw James up here on Thursday night. So catch him and Jesse on Thursday Night Thunder right here live on ETV Live. But I'll tell you, again, back to that 2-car thing, Tracy, not seeing it happen, but what I am seeing is the pack racing that we saw in the duels on NASCAR here over the weekend.
And every once in a while we'll see a real good 2-car team hook up for a little bit and get away from the pack. But it looks like they are able to pull them all back in again. And we've got 20 cars in this pack up here running, JD. As you can see, the 13 just seemed to got bogged down, actually caused these cars to check up real big going through the corner. They're trying to get hooked back together as they're going to be catching up into another lap down car running right about the middle of the track, JD.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, taking all the way back here to 15th position back here, Jeremy Bazemore, our pole sitter tonight in that 92 machine. He's just kind of sitting back here minding his own business, been able to keep his car pretty much out of trouble, guys, and kind of wondering if he's just kind of waiting for everything to kind of ride through here. Of course, nothing really starts at these tracks, Tracy, until about the 20 lap to go, and then they let them all hang out. We've seen that happen on Thursday and Sunday nights over there with the V-car split races. And I'll tell you what, up there in front, Matthew Largen, I'll tell you, this is about the second time we've seen him up here in front. Brian Barton pushing the 75 car along up here. Ryan Newman, move him up a couple of notches, and that is the Ryan Newman, not the Ryan Newman, having a good time out here in that number 12 machine.
The car they had to clear was the 33 of Michael Howlett. Tell you what, just got caught up in those crashes, lots of damage. Car definitely not up to speed out there on the track. But I tell you, right on the outside line, that 13 of Alan Thomas and followed by Eric Matzenbach are doing everything they can. Looks like they're going to take the lead, JD, heading down the backstretch.
I'll tell you what, like we said, take a lap or two. There's going to be a new leader at pretty much any time around this thing. So that's usually what we see. There'll be 15 or 20 of them before this thing's over tonight. But I'll tell you what, Cowboy, you want to watch this one again, etv-eplay.net, that's where it's at. I'll tell you what, Corn Dog and Corona parties over there, you can download them, you can burn them onto a DVD, heck, share them with your neighbors and your in-laws and your outlaws and have yourself a Corn Dog and Corona party and sit down and have some fun watching those e-plays. But also want to let everybody know that this is the Viper Technologies nationwide series, Tracy. And I'll tell you what, if you haven't seen that chair yet, ViperSR.com, Cowboy, that's where it's at. And I'll tell you, they've got the rumble switch on it, hook it up to your sound system. And I'll tell you what, the surround sound speakers and the whole 9 yards, dude, hook your steering wheel up to it, your big screen, you'll be off and running just like the pros. But ViperSR.com, go in there and check it out. Now, at the end of the race tonight, Tracy, somebody's going home with one. Somebody in the chat room, you have to be in the chat room to win one. So if you're watching and you're not logged in, you got to get over there and get signed in. But somebody over there is going to go home with one tonight if they pick the right winner tonight.
Yeah, I tell you what, JD, I'm on the chat. I got to be in the chat room to win it. Darn it! I knew I was missing something out there.
Tracy, I was told something about fine print about we can't win nothing because we're with these. I don't know, man.
I didn't sign no contract.
Hey, Jason told me that we couldn't do the deal. We can't participate. Our children can't participate. Our grandkids, our aunts, our uncles, in-laws, outlaws, our neighbors, nobody that we even know can participate. So we're out.
But JD, my lawyer says I can do anything I want as long as I don't sign on the dotted line.
Hey, my attorney Joe DePino says I'm the boss of me.
My attorney Joe DePino, give him a plug. I tell you what, nice young Italian boy from Chicago. I bet Joe DePino's your lawyer. But I tell you what, why don't we crank this baby up again for the fans? And I'll tell you what, John the Bad Boy Wilson, put the magic fingers to work and turn them knobs. All right. Looks like the yellow flag is out, guys, and I'll tell you what, we're rolling around trying to pick up the action. I'm not quite sure what brought that one out. I'm hearing that Michael Hallett in the number 33 car might. Oh, he's an absolute wreck back here, guys. Let me see if I can't roll it backwards here and see what happens. But it's going to be the number 33 car, Michael Hallett, back here. And I can't get the whole thing, John, the Bad Boy Wrestling, but see if we can't get either you or Jerry to pull it up on our e-play machine, John.
Yeah, let's see if we can pull this up, JD, see exactly what happened. He's actually just driving around all by himself back here. I'm not quite sure what happened, but we'll pull it up here and follow that number 33 of Michael Hallett and see what happens here. He just, he's way off base, and guys, he just loses it on his own, hits the outside safer barrier, rolls that car, lands it down on the infield through the grass, guys. And that's one of the Viper SR cars, I believe there, Greg. Oops.
Oops. Just send Viper Technologies the bill. They got plenty of sheet metal. I'll tell you what, Michael Hallett going for what we call here on ETV Live the E-ticket ride, dude. And that's going to bring caution number 3 out here at Daytona. And I'll tell you what, we'll hope that Michael Hallett is okay. I'm sure he's getting a ride over to the in-car infield care center over there. But I'll tell you what, working caution number 3 here, guys, unfortunately. But, you know, Mike, you got some more on for us?
Yeah, JD, you're going to see a lot of cars here probably take 2 tires, 4 tires, get that fuel tank filled up, and you probably might see a into the green run here because the fuel tanks could probably hold about 40 laps, so that caution probably came out at a crucial time for most of these drivers.
Outstanding. I'll tell you what, if I tell you you're doing a great job here in the booth, you're not going to go running out the back door and not come back, are you?
Oh, absolutely not.
Outstanding. I'll tell you what, Michael Keaton in the house with us tonight. We hired him to work pit road for us here on the Tuesday night Nationwide Series here, the Viper Technologies Nationwide Series. And I'll tell you what, I got with him pre-race, Tracy, and I mean, he was shaking so hard. Well, we won't go into that part of it, but I'll tell you what, he was a nervous wreck. Talked to his wife there for a little bit, and her fiance, and she said she'd calm him down. But I tell you what, he was up and ready to go, and doing an outstanding job. But Tracy, working caution number 3 here. Got to check out that buffet table. Haven't had a chance yet. Why don't we step away and take a commercial break right here, right now? You're watching live ETV Live, Viper Technologies Nationwide Series with veteran sim racers. Don't wander off, cowboy. We'll be right back. All right, we are back live, and I'll tell you what, I think Mike and Jerry are working something over on E.J. O'Rourke here, a little bit confused on what the deal is, but we're getting a report that E.J. is back on the lead lap here at Daytona, so we'll see if we can get more information on that. In the meantime, back out in front, Eric Matzenbacher, in fact, not back out in front, he's pretty much been up front the whole race long, Tracy, pretty much up in the top 5, but he's up there with Matthew Largan. Good to see Matt up there having his fun here tonight at Daytona. Alan Thomas, Ryan Newman hanging out in the top 5 pretty much the last half of this race here. Robert Childress the second in the 5th position up here. And I understand that we've got E.J. O'Rourke on the radio. And I think, Mike, did you have him on the radio there?
Yeah, EJ, we learned early in the race you took a black flag from a 150 qualifying race. You on the lead lap now? What can you tell us, EJ? What's up?
Yeah, I'm on the lead lap. This point.com Lily Trucking Chevy Impala is running pretty good. Hopefully I can find my teammate Matthew Largan up there and maybe possibly get the win. Yeah, I was a bad boy in the qualifier race, and I got the black flag penalty, which I agree with. So it's all good now. I'm back on the lead lap on the same fuel and tire strategy as these guys, and hopefully we can get the win here in VSR.
All 4 corners of that car look pretty clean. You think you got a shot at trying to get up here and run in the front?
Well, I went up there with Mike Costa and a couple of them guys before, so I think this car can do it. You know, this race is pretty much all a crapshoot anyway, so I don't think it really matters where I finish. It's all about fun, at least for me in this series, in this race especially. But, you know, this VSR with Chuck Ingram and all them guys up there do a great job, and hopefully, you know, I can get a W here today, or Matthew at least.
All right, thank you, EJ, very much. JD, back to you.
You bet. And AJ, we'll see you at the bar after the race, bud. Good luck to you.
All right, man, and make sure you guys all like EJ O'Rourke Racing on Facebook.
You know, the kid does not get out of here without some kind of plug for something, and there it is. But I tell you what, E.J. O'Rourke, always fun to have in a booth here once in a while. Not too often, just once in a while, as he could go on and on and on. But I tell you, having some fun here tonight, the inaugural race. I tell you what, you got 33 weeks of it coming your way right here live on ETV Live. Viper Technologies Nationwide Series. The house is packed over here. Paul Wood along for the ride. Ron Hago. I see Sheila Sterling. Man, the list just goes on and on and on, boys. And working up the list here. Even a Newman fan. I wonder who that is. As the pace car pulls off, getting ready to go back to green flag racing, Tracy, at Daytona.
Yeah, I tell you, we got a great start. Mike, go back to pit road. Get out of the buffet. Yeah, I tell you, we've got a great start here, JD. Looks like Eric Matzenbacher is going to take the lead on the start, followed by the 75 and Matthew Largan right on his back bumper.
There you go. Man, I tell you what, if we don't have more fun up here than them other guys up here at ETV Live, there's something wrong. But I tell you what, good start here. Coming up on caution number 3, it happened back on lap 53, guys. And I tell you what, things are looking pretty clean here on this restart. But up here on the top, Ryan Newman taking a shot at it up here up on the top side. He's got, looks like the 16, Brian Barden, our in-car reporter, in behind him here. So I tell you what, being patient, but then Brian Barden peels off, leaves Newman up there hanging by himself, Tracy.
I tell you what, I thought for sure the 16 would hang onto the tail of that car and push him to the front. Looks like the 16 didn't see him moving too well, jumps to the bottom, gets with that group. As it looks now, like I said, Matzenbacher is being pushed by Largan and also followed by Thomas, Childress, and Barden now in the top 5, JD.
You bet. And Dave Miranda back here in 13th position in that 26 machine, riding the top line with Patrick Willman, trying to get a 2-car tandem going up here together, guys. I'll tell you what, about 47 laps left or so here at Daytona. And I believe we should probably go ahead and slam the door shut, Greg, on question number 4. What year that Dale Earnhardt finally won his first Daytona 500. So 4 questions in the book. The big one left to pick here. I'll tell you what, we'll slam the door on that one at, let's say, what do you think, Greg? Maybe the 15 to go, Mark? You call it. See, now I got Greg all tongue-tied over here, too.
Actually, he's in the buffet. You know what? He's in the buffet over there with the ribs, JD.
Oh, buffet my ass. I tell you, you know what happens when we get rookies up here in the booth? They clam up and shut up.
But I'm checking that top 4, JD. We got 3 of them cars with the Viper SR seat paint job running on the top 4. We've got 1st, 3rd, and 4th place.
You bet. I'll tell you what, that'll make Jason Lawson happy up there, them sharp-looking Viper SR cars out there. And I tell you what, let's see if we can't get Greg hooked up here. I know we got the big one coming. Somebody's going home with that chair tonight, that gaming seat, that Viper 600 SR. And of course, the deal is you got to answer the fan challenge question: who is going to win this race here tonight? I tell you what, the way things have been going all night, guys, it could be anybody. But I'll tell you what, Greg, I know we usually slam the door shut sometime around the 15 or 10 to go. Have you picked out that lap yet?
Yeah, JD, we decided we're going to go ahead and slam it on the 10 to go. We want to give these guys a good opportunity to see the field, and we definitely like seeing people go home with our 600 SR, so we're going to give them a good shot.
There you go. All right, folks, you heard it. It's going to be 10 to go when we get there. Somebody tonight is going to be selected randomly from the Viper technology side of the house over there, and they're going home with that gaming chair. So if you haven't got your answer in, we can talk Jason and throw that link up one more time. Get over there, and who do you think is going to win the race? Put the car number only in that little box. Don't put anything else down there, or you'll get disqualified. So you got to put just the car number only. But things are getting a little bit dicey up here in the front. Robert Childress down here on the bottom as the 47 comes rolling past racing.
Yeah, I tell you what, JD, 29 of Jeff Marinetti just took the lead, getting a great push from somebody that we just talked to, that 41
Oh,
of,
another caution coming up. Whoa, one in the air, guys. Big time. Sorry, Tracy, but big time caution. A.J. Browning, heavy damage to A.J. as he takes a flying leap in the air. I'll tell you what, if you could put a wings and propeller on that thing, he'd have made it to Tennessee. A.J. Browning in a major, major upset here, guys, and that is absolutely worth a retake. As let's throw it on back down to John, the bad boy Wesley, got it pulled up on the E-Wine machine.
Let's see what happened here, guys. We thought we was going to make a stretch all the way to the finish here. It's this high line up here we're going to pay attention to. It looks like there's a car. I'm going to pull this back just a little bit, JD. It looks like a car came off the bottom line. This happened so quick, I almost missed it here. It just looked like somebody got out of control there, Jerry.
Actually, I'll tell you what, John, I believe that 26 might have gotten to the back of the 47, shoved him up into the outside wall. I believe that's what might caused all that, guys.
Yeah, you bet. You know, taking a look at it from the 4 car back here from, looks like Kirk Fielder's car back here, and I think you're absolutely right there. It looks like somebody got into A.J. up there in the front, and that's what kind of did it in. But I'll tell you what, A.J. Browning in his machine took an E-ticket ride. Like I said, propellers and wings. Tennessee, here I come. But I'll tell you what, heavy damage to that number 47 machine, guys.
Yeah, it looks like you definitely need a set of wings. As you know, I'm rewatching the replay. You need to quit getting hit by cars until he almost came to a complete dead stop there in the grass, JD. And that car has huge amounts of damages, as he did try to get back going, but looks like they knocked that rear end completely out of place. Track bar must be broken on that car as he's driving, crabbing around the track, guys.
You bet. I'll tell you what, caution number 4 coming out here at Daytona International Speedway, the Viper Technologies Nationwide Series. And I'll tell you what, a couple of guys going for an E-ticket ride down here.
Tell you what, JD, I want to pull this back one more time. I hate to keep drawing on these cautions here, but I want to pull this back one more time on the 22 car. As he's coming through this, A.J. Browning's car actually rolls over the top of him.
Holy cow.
And he's coming right for him, and I guess he does just barely click him, JD, but wow, what a wreck.
Wow, unbelievable. I'll tell you what, AJ Browning, he'll be spending some time in the infield care center here, I'm sure. But Mike, we do have some people down on pit road.
Yeah, pit road again is busy again. A couple of cars coming in, probably taking a couple of tires here, making sure that they got the fuel to finish. Trying to figure out what the fuel looks like for some of the leaders. It's going to be close. It's going to be real close, but some of them feel like they've got it.
Yeah, I tell you what, Mike, we just had that race on Saturday, I believe it was Saturday night, and that Eric Matzenbacher ran out of fuel right on, I think, corner 4 and lost the race. I think it was actually going to corner 1, so I'm sure he's going to be very careful on his fuel tonight.
Yeah, a couple of these cars already, you can hear them turning the engines off just to conserve any amount of fuel they can. It will be interesting here to see if these cars have the fuel to make at the end of the race.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's a tough mistake to make. Looking at it, basically a half a gallon to a gallon of fuel come up short from losing the race is really tough to swallow. So look for these guys to be really conservative on fuel on these next several caution laps, saving everything they can. And it looks like everybody's starting to, it looks like pretty much everybody's doing out there is clutching that car.
Yeah, clutching that car and staying on that apron there to get that car flat and to conserve, again, just any amount of fuel they can because they're going to be cutting it close.
You bet. I'll tell you what, rather than step away to do a commercial, why don't we do a few plugs? How about a plug or two for our own selves up here?
Air plug?
If you want to watch this race again, you can get it over at etv-eplay.net, and there's a pile of them over there. And I'll tell you what, Corn Dog and Coronas have yourself an ETV Live party, and you can download them. You can watch them right there on the ETV ePlay site. Burn them off to a DVD if you want. Share them with your in-laws and your outlaws. Corn Dogs and Coronas do. Throw the wife and kids out the door. Crank that baby up and have a good time. But I tell you what, some more stuff coming up here on ETV Live. Hey, we mentioned that Outlaw Jesse James in the house tonight. And I tell you what, maybe he can find a way over to the booth over here. I know it's crowded here at the racetrack, but maybe we can coax him into the booth up here tonight. But coming your way on Thursday night, Homestead or Thursday Night Thunder, Homestead. That was last week. But I tell you, if Outlaw's listening, maybe he can put the schedule up there for next week. But you can join him at 9 o'clock or 9:30 on Thursday Night Thunder with AJ Browning. And then on February 25th, the big one, I tell you what, the HD Radio Network Daytona 500, boys, and it's a full 500, 200 laps, and we're going to have some fun with the HD Radio Network guys. Phil and the gang, Kevin and everybody over there, they're putting the pre-race show together from 5 to 7. We'll be in the house with them, and then we transition over to the booth. We've got a 1-hour show here on ETV Live. Phil and the gang will be along the ride for that, so you don't want to miss all that action. It starts at 5 o'clock over there on the radio, 7 o'clock on ETV Live this Saturday, February 25th. And then, of course, back on Sunday night, Jesse the Outlaw James and crew for the Sunday night Road to the Pro Series. So tons of racing action coming your way right here live on ETV Live. Pick a night and any night, and always having some fun here on ETV Live.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure, JD. But let Outlaw know he has to bring his own bucket. These ones are all full up here.
All right, and I understand that we've got AJ Browning in the house, guys. So, and I believe Mike wants to talk with AJ here for a minute.
AJ, tough break there late in the race. Looked like you got a little loose, or did you get a little help or touch from behind?
Just got a little bit loose. Got in a little accident earlier, and the steering was off a little bit. And I was trying to hold the high line. I drove up there. I haven't really been up there the whole race, and it just broke loose on me there. It was kind of unfortunate, but looks like we're done.
Took a wild ride there. Everything okay? You doing okay?
Yeah, got back from the infield care center. All good.
Thank you, AJ. JD, yeah, it's again Daytona woes here late in the race. You're going to see a lot more action here. getting down to these closing laps.
You bet. 71 laps in the books here, guys. And I'll tell you what, I think Jason or Greg might have already slammed the door shut on question 4, so that one's over with. But I'll tell you what, you still got an opportunity to win the big one tonight. They're going to slam that door at the 10 to go mark here at Daytona. So get your who you think is going to win the race and get it posted in there very quickly, and maybe you'll be the one to go home with it tonight. We will see. But I'll tell you what, out here in front, guys, Jeff Marinetti, E.J. O'Rourke earned himself back on the lead lap, and he's sitting on the front row, Tracy.
Yeah, he got back up to that front row. As we just talked to him when he got his lap back, and he's got the 67 of Eric Matzenbacher. Going to give him a push on this restart as they jump out of that restart, and that 29 of Jeff Marinetti gets a great start, JD, and is able to pull away from the field a little bit.
Back to Green Flag Racing here at Daytona, and this is it. This is the Viper Technologies Nationwide Series. I tell you what, 33 weeks of racing coming your way here on ETV Live as we wind this thing down here at Daytona. And I tell you what, Tracy, they're letting it all hang out up here in front as they beat and bang on the bumpers up here.
Yeah, I tell you, we got a couple cars went down there in the apron. The 92 car, for some reason, just swapped down to the apron, getting back up in line. But look out for that outside line of Eric Matzenbacher and the 13 of Alan Thomas trying to work together to get those two Viper SR Racing seat cars up to the front.
We have Brogan Lonta up here on the top side in that 18 machine up here being shown in 8th position. But I tell you what, trying to make that top line work up there. Hey, I really haven't seen much of that two-car tango at all here tonight, guys, except for in the first part of the race, and which looked like Matzenbacher and his buddy were going to walk away with it. But I tell you what, they did have him on a leash, reeled it back in, and it's been that way ever since, Tracy.
Yeah, I tell you, the 13 almost got to the outside of the 67, just about hooked him on that right corner, really screwed up their timing as they're going to get past on the outside. And look, not too sure who that car is. I think it's Patrick Williams working that outside pretty good as those two were working to get back together again, JD.
You bet. That's I believe that's going to be the 18 up there of Brogan Lont, and also Patrick Williams up there in the front as they go motor on by.
Yeah, it takes just that one moment of loss of concentration or just contact with your guy in front of you, and look what happens. You get a couple cars on the outside already hooked up, and they just pretty much go by you on the outside, but they haven't given up yet as they're motoring back by Brogan Lont on that inside line, working on taking the lead back, JD.
You bet. I'll tell you, it is getting dicey up here. I'm still watching Brogan Lont in that 18 machine with Patrick Williams now jumping on down to the bottom up here. But I'll tell you what, these guys are beating and banging on each other's bumpers up here at 190 miles an hour. Something's going to give here as we've got 25 more laps to go here at Daytona. And look over here in the chat room, and I want to thank Devin for the comment he's making. Best racing and broadcast he's seen in a long time. I tell you what, dude, spread the word, cowboy. ETV Live, it's the only choice. And I'll tell you what, things are kind of settling down up here now, Tracy. Up in the front, 41 car working the outside. A.J. O'Rourke trying to make that outside work for him.
Yeah, he's getting a heck of a push from the 75 and Matthew Largent. He's getting on the out there, hooked up together. Oh, we almost had a crash. 16 got into the back of the, I believe it's trying to 41 car. Just about spun him, JD. Really checked up that group. But watch out outside line. Here comes the 41 being pushed by that 75. Got a heck of a head of steam on the outside as they pull out in front of Eric Matzenbacher, take the lead.
You bet. I told you things get dicey here towards the end of the race, but I tell you what, wonder how many of them made the adjustment, the tape adjustment and whatnot down there on pit road on that last caution as they try to get hooked up here. Not, towards the end of the race is probably where we see that two-car tandem breakaway stuff happen. Kind of sitting here wondering if we're even going to see that or not. watched the duels on NASCAR here over the weekend, and this is pretty much what I saw. Pack racing up here, guys, and I mean they're just dicing in and out, and trying to move, find a hole down there on the bottom, on the top, try to put that machine forward. But I tell you what, Barry Jacobs Jr. up here on the top side, 7th position at 91 machine, and he's got the Viper Technologies all over the back of his car too. Tell you what, Viper Technologies all over the place here at Daytona today. And I'll tell you, it's an awesome thing, guys. And if you haven't seen that gaming chair yet, ViperSR.com is where it's at. Get a look at it tonight. And somebody in the chat room is going home with it tonight, Tracy.
Yeah, I tell you, JD, what a prize to win. Tell you, one of the nicest looking gaming set chairs I've seen. Right, that SR system with the speakers built in like that. I mean, how much easier can you make it for yourself to get the full surround sound and the vibration with those thumper speakers built into it? But I tell you, we got a heck of a battle here, JD. They just went by some cars 3 wide as our leader, Eric Motzenbacher, being pushed by Alan Thompson, doing a great job of keeping an eye on the back of the pack here. Looks like they're trying to get broken down to 2 cars into the outside. It looks like the 29 getting a push from the 41 on the outside, trying to make that run for the leaders.
You bet. I'll tell you what, they've been trying that top side, trying the bottom side, and I'll tell you what, there's probably been about a half a dozen or more lead changes already here tonight. 100 laps on the books, 78 already completed here at Daytona, and I'm riding along with Jeremy Bazemore, our pole sitter here tonight. Of course, that was decided in the qualifying races they had all week here. Jeremy Bazemore coming to Daytona with 107 starts, career 7 wins under his belt, 44 top 5s. Pretty impressive, dude. I'll tell you what, he's a top 10 finisher here too, as well as a number of these guys. I looked down the list, Tracy, and I'll tell you, you're pulling up the career stats on all these guys here. Every single one of them, they're top 10 finishers. So tell you what, looking for some exciting races in the next 32 weeks.
Yeah, definitely, JD. That many top 10 finishers. There's only so many spots to even finish a race. The 41 of EJ goes to the outside of the 29 of Jeff Marinetti. It was really close, JD, for them guys to rub each other. But it looks like our leader is still out there pulling this pack around. Really shook up that top line when they did that, JD.
You bet, and I've got post-it notes coming back and forth to me here, but I can't read the whole thing, but I'm getting something about Viper Tech will, you know what, I can't get the whole thing, so why don't we go ahead and let Greg, well, here we go. $50 to the winner for tonight's race for Viper Technologies, dude. There you go.
Wow.
And we haven't announced the big one yet, dude. Wait till you hear this. I'll save it for a couple of laps here. We ain't done with that yet, but whoever wins this thing here tonight, Viper Technologies is going to front you $50, dude. I'll tell you what, I should have climbed in the cockpit, Tracy.
Heck yeah.
You wouldn't have won, JD. Trust me. You'd been in the chat room by lap 10.
Yeah, I would have made it at least halfway, JD.
Liars. All lies.
I could have won the halfway. Do you think for halfway? Yeah, they tell you these guys are doing a great job, JD. As Motzenbacher's leading these guys around, not getting any threats from the outside yet, as the outside seem to just kind of stalled all these cars back, leading that outside line right now is that 25 of Robert Childress and another Viper RS sponsored car, kind of holding that outside line as the 2 cars, the 67 and the 13, seem to be leading us around the track fairly easy, and doing a great job up there as we're down to, looks like, about 18 laps to go in this race. They come to start finish line and be down to 17, JD.
You bet. I'll tell you what, you know, $50 to the winner of this race here tonight, and I tell you what, that's going to be an added surprise to the winner in Victory Circle, I think, here tonight. But 83 laps in the books here already, guys. And as Tracy said, this thing's winding down. But you know what? Somebody over in our chat room is going to go home with that Viper 600 chair tonight. So, you know, the link is still open. Get over there. Who do you think is going to win this race tonight? And I'll tell you what, boys, it could be anybody. The way things have been going all night long as we go 3 wide, slow car up on the top, Tracy, the 4 going backwards as they all get past it.
Yeah, they got clean passes, but you know these drivers out here, JD, if you were to tell them what a prize was, they'd race hard for a cookie.
You think? But I'll tell you what, $50 being fronted from Viper Technologies tonight to the winner of this race. This is the Viper Technologies Nationwide Series as we go to 3 wide in a triangle. Oh, AJ just barely misses that. In fact, John, that might even be worth a replay there, dude.
Yeah, I tell you what, he really checked up quite a bit as he got slowed down. Now he's trying to come back to 75, and Matthew Largen going to give the 41 a push as they're going to go 3 wide, JD, coming into corner 1. But down the backstretch for 3. 3 wide.
3 wide up here in front. E.J. O'Rourke and Matthew Lorgan trying to put something together up here. I'll tell you what, 84 laps in the book, so they're starting this game a little bit early here tonight. But E.J. O'Rourke and Matthew Lorgan are hooked up. I got a funny feeling they'll stay that way until the finish. I know these 2 dudes. But you know what? They got to get it past Eric Matzenbacher and Alan Thomas up here, boys. The fight is on, and it started now.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be 2 wide all the way to the end of the thing, JD. But look ahead. They are catching up to a big group of cars as Matthew Largen actually moves down the track. Everybody trying to get single filed as there's a big pack of slow cars coming up. And it looks like they're going to catch a few of them right in the corner, JD.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, beep, beep, geese your ass out of the way. Here we come as they move up out of the way. 3 of them in a row going past 3 wide. Danger zone coming up, dude. Into the trial we go at 185 miles an hour. I tell you what, things do get dicey here, Tracy.
Beep, beep. We need extra room, guys. Move down, move up. Looks like they're all going to get through past them cars. They weren't actually prepared for them to be there that quick. As we got 3 wide in the corner right now, JD, with late cars filed back down to 2 now. These guys are really getting racy, looking to find a way to move them leaders of the way. But look on the outside, a change. Robert Childress moving up and taking that outside line, but now the 34 and the 32 hooked up and going around the outside.
You bet. Here we go. Back here 3 wide. Barry Jacobs up here on the top. He's got the 91 machine out in front of him. So I'll tell you what, they've cut them horses loose, and they're letting them ponies ride. So this is it. Getting down the wire here, Tracy. 86 laps in the book, so this thing is winding down. Who's going to be my dancing partner tonight? I'll tell you what, them radios are working overtime up there on the spotter tower as they try to get partnered up and hooked up. But I'll tell you what, Eric Matzenbacher, Alan Thomas still being posted our leaders out here. But I'll tell you what, the freight train is coming on the top.
Yeah, Hunsinger and Jet working that outside line. Hunsinger gets in front, abandons Jet on the outside, takes the lead. And here comes Jet with the push from the 91 and 92. That's 3 cars that Jet drops down to the bottom, and he takes the lead. But be careful on that outside, 91, 92. Seem to be really hooked up, JD, and moving forward at a fairly fast clip. Move Matzenbacher and Thomas back to about 5th and 6th place, JD. As a matter of fact, they're falling back just a little bit more. There's a few more cars come around that outside.
Barry Jacobs being posted your leader out here, and here comes our pole sitter, Jeremy Bazemore, up here in the 92 machine, guys. I tell you what, 2 more laps to go, and Greg's going to slam the door shut on the big one here tonight. That's that Viper 600 SR gaming chair, and I tell you what, Cowboy, when you get your hands on that, you ain't going to want to let it go. It's got that rumble seat, the surround sound, the whole 9 yards. I tell you what, Tracy, I wish we could just come to work about this time during the day. This is where all the action takes place.
I tell you what, we really mixed up who was in the lead. We need to see how many people picked Barry Jacobson to be up there in the lead at this moment. But look on that outside, JD. Got the 2 cars hooked back together, the 67 of Eric Matzenbacher and that 13 of Alan Thomas, working the outside, coming around, trying to take that lead. They're now side by side fighting for this lead.
Ben, I'll tell you what, listen for that squeaky hinge and that door to slam shut here in about 3/4 of a lap or so here. When they come around, slam the door shut on that big one. But I tell you what, the fight is on out here in front. Alan Thomas trying to make something, put something together up here on the top side with his dancing partner. I tell you what, those Viper, be nice to get one of those Viper cars across the start-finish line at the end to collect the green flag. And here we go again, Tracy. Slow car up on the top, heading into the tri-oval danger zone as they go slip-sliding through.
Yeah, and I tell you what, it's really tough going through and there's a little bit of dog leg there because your car wants to push to that outside line. But look like Eric Montenbacher going to lead that lap, but look down at the bottom, the 91 of Barry Jacobson coming back, getting back around him. I tell you, we really got to plug up our cars up here, JD. I'm still waiting for that 41 and 75 to hook up and go 3 wide again here by about the end of the race.
You bet, and I'll tell you what, yeah, you bet. I'll tell you what, I just heard our in-car reporter, Mike Keaton, our pit road reporter down there, he's seeing a lot of steam coming out of some of these cars, a lot of overheating taking place down here. Hey, it's no wonder, cowboy. But I'll tell you what, 90 laps in the book, slam that door shut, and I'm watching Brian Barton up here, 5th position, guys. You heard him earlier. He's going to lay back, let them all run out. I'll tell you what, he's trying to work that machine of his, the 16 car, up forward like he said he was going to do. But I'll tell you what, Tracy, things are starting to heat up here at Daytona Speedway. The Viper Technologies nationwide series with veteran sim racers. I'll tell you what, no finer group. Take you back to that first race we did with these guys. 3 wide for 30, 40 laps, 6 and 7 rows deep. I'll tell you what, these boys know how to get the job done.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it looks like Montenbacher and Thomas taking that lead. If anything, cut the nose off that 91, got him down to the apron. Got Bazemore and Jacobs really wiggled down there, but tell you, they got a heck of a run. Their cars were able to cool back down and get back together. You're not going to see any cars out there swapping positions at this moment in the race, JD. They're just let them things blow steam and just hope they make it to the end.
Blowing steam and make it to the end. I'll tell you what, feed them boilers, coal them up, and fuel that fire down there. Jeremy Bazemore in 4th down here. That 92 machine started out on a pole here tonight. Of course, that was decided a few days back in the qualifying races that they had here. But I'll tell you what, Chuck Ingram and his boys put a fine group of drivers together here tonight for this series. 33 weeks of racing here on ETV Live as we get a run for the front here. Bazemore up to the top with his dancing partner, the 91 machine. That's going to be Barry Jacobs Jr., Tracy, making a mad dash past that 67 on the bottom.
Tell you what, we can throw a blanket over the top 12 cars here, JD. They're all bunched up together 2 by 2. As I said, we're down to 7 laps to go in this race. It looks like that 91, 92 hooked up really good, taking over the lead on the outside of the 16. That almost gets into the 67, JD, going through the corner. Was able to keep those cars apart, but man, were they rubbing door handles there.
Absolutely. Hey, that's the name of the game. You know, like I always say, why can't we start these things with 10 to go in the anyway? But I'll tell you what, it took us 100 laps or 93 laps to get to this point, and this is where the action really starts. So I tell you what, to sit up in your seat, buckle in, and go get your cold one, because we got some heavy-duty racing coming our way. As the 16 motors on by for the lead, 91 down here on the bottom with Barry Jacobs Jr., boys.
Yeah, I tell you what, Brian Martin's going to want to be our in-car reporter every race. If he leaves here with the win, we're going to be as good luck for the night. I tell you, doing a great job out there and getting a push from that 25 of Robert Childress, working their way, trying to get up to that lead. Doing a great job, JD.
I'll tell you what, I think I just heard Greg's, I think I just heard Greg's seatbelt unbuckle there, and he's jumping up and down up here in the booth. I'll tell you what, I think he's having a blast up here. He's got that 91 machine with Viper Technologies all over the back end of that baby, hustling towards that finish line. I'll tell you what, 6 to go here at Daytona. And coming up on a couple of lap-down cars up here, Tracy. Here we go again. I'll tell you what, how many times are we going to do this here tonight with 5 laps to go here at Daytona?
Yeah, like they say, you come up to that and you're for that car on that outside line, it's really going to make your butt grab your seat. But look at JD, those 2 cars are running the bottom line. It's going to be interesting to see it on the backstretch. They're running right down the center of the track, so hopefully they'll move up, give space.
The 92 going past. I think he's got to make the change here. Oh, running up. Oh, that was close. Oh, Ooh, man, that was close. I got a funny feeling that was...
Matzenbach got an apron, JD, was able to save it, but lost a lot of momentum. Car kept going, did basically a Kyle Busch during the Bud shootout. Got that car sideways down the apron, was able to straighten it out and keep going.
You bet. I got a funny feeling that that swap that we saw take place, probably cars overheating up here as we get another lap car up here, 3 wide again, coming off the turn here. But the 26 machine staying up there by the wall. But I tell you what, out here in front, Jeremy Bazemore back to the front. Brian Barden, as the yellow flag is out, guys. And I'm hearing the 7 car and the 38 car involved in this. So that's going to be Alex Thornton down here. I'm showing him in 17th position, boys. So let's roll it backwards here and see what took place as we try to pick it up on our monitors here.
Yeah, JD, I've kind of picked it up here. Just came out of that corner with a heck of a, looked real good head of steam and got into a lapped car, which caused that big melee, JD. John, you got that replay?
Let's see what happened. There's just a couple cars here back here running all by themselves, the 12 car and the 38, guys. See what happens here. They're coming into the corner. Well, it just looks like everything's fine here, guys. I'm not sure what happens here. Gonna come through the corner, come off the corner here. Oh, wow, he gets plowed by a car that came off the apron there and just plowed in the back of that 38 car and turned him around.
All right, and I'll tell you what, guys, we probably need to check with the race officials and get the official word here. But this race might be over, guys. I know iRacing does not do the green-white checkers here, and so this thing might be over. So I'll tell you what, why don't we go ahead and step away. We'll take a real quick commercial break here while we check with the officials, and we'll bring you the word right back. You're watching live, ETV Live. Don't wander off, cowboy. We'll be right back. Created specifically for iRacing's online racing simulation game, Trading Paints provides individual racers, leagues, and painters an opportunity to share their custom-designed paint schemes with other subscribers on the iRacing.com simulation service. Part of the fun of today's simulation racing games is showing off your high-quality work with a custom-painted car or truck. TradingPaints.com lists thousands of custom-painted cars and trucks available for download by simply creating an account and logging in. With all available templates at your fingertips, a simple desktop downloader will keep you up to date with the most recent custom-painted vehicles and templates. Check it out today. TradingPaints.com. All right, we are back live. Daytona International Speedway, the Viper Technologies Nationwide Series inaugural race, and it is official. The race is over. No green-white checkered here at Daytona. Jeremy Bazemore will be your winner. Brian Barden in third. Robert Childress the second and third. And Barry Jacobs Jr. coming in fourth. Then your top five, Rich Jet. So awesome run with a lot of these guys, Tracy. But like I said, the officials have told us that the race is over. It's a done deal. So this one will go down in the history books for the Viper Technologies Nationwide Series.
Yeah, I tell you what a great finish to the race. That 92 car, I don't believe, was even up there by the leaders there at lap 10. Him and the 91 hung back there at the tail end of the field, never really showed any strength coming there. So this could have really tossed up the picks for our people in the chat room with the 92 of Jeremy Bazemore taking the win.
You bet, and I'll tell you what, the big one up for grabs, and we'll have the winner of that one here a little bit later. We'll announce it during the post-race show here in just a little bit, but I'll tell you what, the 4 trivia questions tonight is going to go to Will Marquez, Tracy Carpenter, Jason Inch, Amber Keaton. I'll tell you what, man, $25 gift certificates for answering the correct questions, and I'll tell you what, we always like to have some fun with those trivia questions. Easy enough to look up. And I'll tell you what, to put that Google to work. But congratulations to Will and Tracy, Jason, and Amber tonight for taking home those $25 certificates. And I'll tell you what, Tracy, what a night here tonight. A lot of top-name performers here. A bunch of them coming out of the Veteran Sim Racers League over there. And Mike Keaton, what a fantastic job on pit road here tonight, bud.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, just gonna say, awesome race. Hats off to Jeremy there for getting there, getting that car to the end there, and making the move when he needed to, and being in the position when he needed to, and just great run to start off a wonderful season here.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, glad to have you along for the ride up here tonight in the booth with us. And you did pretty good. So tell you what, you can go home and tell your fiancée she can put that little bucket we talked about earlier away. You ain't going to need that thing no more. But I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and finish this thing off here as these guys complete the last lap. Why don't we go ahead and step away? We'll take one more commercial break. We'll come back, bring you the post-race show here, the Viper Technologies Nationwide Series, and we'll meet with our winners here tonight. So I'll tell you what, Cowboy, don't wander off too far. We're going to be right back.
Hey dude, are you ready to rock and roll? If that's cool, then you need to do it over at HD Radio Network. HD Radio Network, 4 stations broadcasting 24/7 with everything from metal favorites to the 80s classic rock like legendary Leonard Skinner, Electric Light Orchestra, Foreigner, and bone-rattling, skull-crushing rock and roll on hard driving radio. And partnered with Nuff World Simulation Gaming, check out the HD Radio Network's Nuff Radio with Bear Factory, Stone Temple Pilots, Def Leppard, and a whole lot more. HDRadionetwork.com. Take your pick and rock your brains out, dude.
Dig. Hard as you can go all the way to the wall. Dig. Back to speed. Tires look awesome too, bud. And then there at the end, you were mowing down those guys pretty quick. All right, guys, bearing down on your 20, hard and fast. You've been doing an awesome job. We'll get us one tonight.
These cars pulled up. Flag, green flag.
All right, and we are back live, Daytona International Speedway, and I'll tell you what a night of racing we had here. I'm standing down here in Victory Circle with our trophy winner tonight. I'll tell you what, Jeremy Bazemore, you had an up and down night, qualified on the pole with the qualifying races here they held this week. Career 107 starts, 7 wins. Add another one to that column, 44 top 5 finishes. I'll tell you what, you're a top 10 finisher, and you proved it tonight. So tell us about your race, bud.
Oh, yeah, thanks, man. We stayed in the back most of the night and just tried to save our cars. We knew it was going to be a long race and pretty good many cautions.
You bet, and I'll tell you what, you know, you were able to keep that car pretty clean all night long, but it was kind of a back and forth deal for you. But, you know, tell us about, you know, you started out in front, the 2-car tandem. We didn't see a lot of that here tonight. Any particular reason why?
Well, since they changed this draft model up on us the last time, it's just so hard to get away. It's really not worth forcing it early in the race. You're just going to wear your car out and take a shot at blowing it up.
I'll tell you what, and you did an outstanding job keeping that thing clean here tonight. And I'll tell you, you know, congratulations taking the big one home tonight. And guess what else? You're also taking home a $50 bill from Viper Technologies. And so congratulations on that. And any shout out there you want to give?
Yeah, man, I just want to say thanks to my team, the 91, the 34, and the 32. Couldn't really do it without them.
Absolutely, and again, congratulations, and don't spend that $50 in the same place. But I'm going to throw it on down to Tracy Flip Robbins, who's caught up with our in-car reporter for tonight, and that number 16 machine, Brian Barden.
Yeah, guys, I'm down here at 16 of Brian Barden. You know what, Brian, we talked to you a couple times here in the booth, and I think that gave you a little good luck. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess so, you know.
Well, let me tell you, we watched you move up there, Brian. Tell us a little bit about your race.
Had a different strategy than what I was previously going to do. After I saw the group that was up in front, I decided to get up there and join them a little bit. We had some hairy moments with lap traffic. Getting through there, I think the last 10 laps or so, it got real scary and white-knuckled. But everything worked out good. I had a good push from Mr. Childress, the number 25, and kept me up there, and the caution came out. I would have liked to have one more chance at Jeremy, but, you know, we just didn't get it tonight.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was an exciting race for us there in the booth, and also everybody out there watching. You guys put on such a great show running side by side, about 6 cars deep there, for right around 10 to 15 laps. Are there any thanks you'd like to give out there tonight?
Just thank VSR, you guys, you know, the sponsor of the race, Viper, all the fans that watched it. I hope everybody enjoys the show and comes back every week for it.
All right, guys, that's your second place finisher tonight. Starting the season off on a high note with a great finish, the 16 of Brian Barden. And I'm going to throw it down to Mike. He's got up to our third place finisher, the 91 of Barry Jacobson Jr.
Yeah, I got Barry. Hey, Barry, good finish tonight, 3rd position. Any credit owed to Jeremy there? I've seen you guys working late in the race there. Any credit for him?
Oh, yeah, a bunch of credit. Actually, there was 4 of us working that whole race long. We were actually hanging out in the back. All 4 of us started up front. We were going to stay there. We got a yellow, so we all went to the back, hung out. We were going to short pit, got another yellow. Things didn't work out with 10 to 15 to go. All 4 of us wanted to come to the front, but we couldn't do it all 4 together. So we did it 2 by 2, got to the front. Some of us got split up, but we took her right to the front with Bazemore. I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, way to start the season off there for a 3rd place finish, and for your teammate there, Jeremy, winning the race. Saw a couple of the gauges, heard the gauges blinking in the car. How close were you to probably destroying that motor?
I don't think I was close to destroying it, but I was wearing it out, I can guarantee you that. I had her flash in there. That's why when that caution came out, we kind of got lucky it came out when it did, because I was backing off of Bazemore to let me breathe a little bit. And the guys on the outside started getting a run before I could get back to them, and the caution came out. So luckily, Bazemore was still ahead of them at that point.
Any thanks you'd like to give out?
Yeah, my whole teammate BDR Motorsports. I saw Viper Technologies came on board recently, so I got their sticker on the back bumper. Hope that third place was good for them. VSR, ETV, everybody, thanks a lot.
Yep, solid finish for Barry Jacobs Jr. JD, we'll take it back to you.
All right, man. I'll tell you what a wild night here at Daytona. And, of course, thanks for being here on ETV Live and everybody in the chat room watching the race. But we got one more announcement to make. Of course, that's for the big one, boys. And, Greg, I think I'm going to go ahead and let you handle this one. This is Greg Smith from Viper Technologies. Who's got the chair tonight?
All right, JD. Yeah, we went ahead and here and randomized this here, and like we always do, and came down to unanimous decision. It is Justin Wolf is the lucky one that our randomizer picked here, and he's going to be taking home that 600 SR. So congratulations to Justin Wolf.
All right, Justin Wolf, he's going to be going home with that 600 SR chair tonight. I tell you what, plug that baby into your surround sound and go for an e-ticket ride. Congratulations to Justin Wolf. And I'll tell you, Tracy, I'll start out with you. Daytona, always a tough one here. It's a new track, repaved, but I'll tell you what, getting out here with 4 cautions, that ain't so bad, but we did see some wild racing action here tonight.
Yeah, I tell you what, great race out there, a lot of good action. Everybody was just battling close to each other. I enjoyed the race thoroughly as these guys put on out there. It was great to see a good, clean battle for the most part, JD. Had a few little incidents out there, but the battle we had facing up there at the end was really going to be working down to, tell you what, we'd like to see that checker flag fly over that, because I guarantee you that space between first and second was going to be next to nothing. So great race here tonight at Daytona.
You bet. And Mike Keaton working pit road down there for us. I know we had you running back and forth there a few times, but you did catch up with some action down there on pit road for sure tonight.
Oh, pit road stayed quite busy with some of these cautions with these cars coming in and getting that last second repair damage fixed and trying to get any kind of ounce of speed out of that car they could. So a lot of good effort put in by these pit crews out here. They don't get enough credit, I don't think. But they really showed up for Jeremy and Barry Jacobs Jr. That team did a fabulous job taking 2 top 5 spots out of there and getting a win heading into next week's race.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, that'll be at Phoenix Speedway, Phoenix Raceway. You don't want to miss that action. It'll be next week, 9 o'clock p.m. live right here on ETV Live. But I'll tell you what, another big announcement coming out of the house this morning, and we wanted to wait until the end of the race and let everybody know, especially the drivers. Viper Technologies, on behalf of our sponsors, 500 big ones to the season champion in 32 weeks, guys. So I'll tell you what, Viper Technologies, they got the check up, and they've got the number on it. All they need to do is put the name on it, 500 big ones to the season champion here with the Viper Technologies Nationwide Series. So there it is, boys. It's out. It's on the table, and it's up for grabs. So who is going to get it? And no, we won't have a trivia question for that one. But I'll tell you what, I want to say thanks to Greg Smith for being along for the ride. I know Jason Lawson from Viper Technology. He's been back and forth. I'll tell you what, we probably wore that dude out. At least we need to get some new bicycle tires or something for that machine of his. But he's back and forth. He's been watching, keeping up with Landon Harrison. He's driving in the Pro Series. They had their first race here tonight. I don't know if we've got an update from them yet or not. But okay, I'm hearing that Landon Harrison finished 24th at Daytona here tonight for the Pro Series. So I'll tell you what, good effort by Landon Harrison driving for Viper Technologies. He's even got ETV Live plastered all over that machine of his too. And we'll have some updates periodically throughout the season here on his races. So, but I'll tell you what, boys, for Viper Technologies, for Chuck Ingram and the veteran sim racers gang here at Daytona, and for John and Jerry and Tracy and all the boys up here in the booth, what an outstanding race here tonight. And don't forget, a lot more racing coming your way on ETV Live, etv-eplay.net. Check it out. We'll see you tomorrow night.